Okay. Oh, no, no. 没有签名. Yeah, they didn't sign. Okay, so now let's get started. Yeah. All right, we have after today we have one more topic need to cover. So now we already move on to our part 5, okay, which are related to the topic as enrichment topics in human resources management. Okay, it's related to building positive employee relations as well as how to manage global human resources management, right? So next week the case is also related to when we talk about the issue related to international human resources management, okay, there's one issue that's always quite important, which is the issue related to expatriates. I think we also talked about it before, right? Expatriate issue. So then that is the case, okay? Okay, expatriate. So that is the case that we're gonna discuss about it, and it's quite interesting. If you have time, you can read through that. Okay. Right. So for how to build up positive employees relations, yeah, because I think as for those of you have job experience, yeah, did you have good relationship with your supervisor while you're at work? Yeah. And what relationship? What kind of, we call it the relationship with your supervisor or, in this organization, you think that might bring more positive effects. For example, under what kind of circumstances you feel like this, the employees relationship, okay, it'll be more positive. Of course, the employees relationship, it might not just, between the employees, it also include a relationship with the supervisor, with the employer. What kind of issue do you think is more important to make you feel more supportive, where you feel comfortable? Yeah, Emerson?
Is it fair treatment?
I'm sorry?
Fair treatment.
Oh, fair treatment. Okay. Yeah, great. Fair treatment. It's not like kind of, there are some employees that belong to the in-group. Remember? The in-group versus out-group. They belong to the in-group. So then the supervisor kind of treat those employees better or give them more, salary raise, sort of. Yeah, fair treatment. Good. Others? Okay.
Maintaining kind of a friendly relationship and a relationship full of respect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It could be related to the, you have good communication. All right? The way your supervisor communicate with you with respect. That is important, all right? It's not like kind of, it's a supervisor, so then the way, he or she wants, give the order is that kind of, they are quite superior, all right? And to show the respect. Yeah, okay, for example, for all these are the important issue to maintain a more positive employees relations. All right, so here, we're already, over here, we already covered for all these issues. Retention, okay, engagement, of course, you have to have a positive employee relation. Also keep your talented employee to stay then, right? Okay, so how do we define the employees relation? Okay, let's take a look at it. It's a managerial activity involving what? Involving establish and maintain positive what relation? Yeah? Employee versus employers relationship. Okay. By this positive employer versus employees relationship, then it can contribute more satisfactory productivity and motivation, as well as the employees' morale, etc. And then it can maintain more positive, work environments. Okay. That is the issue. For example, earlier the issue that you mentioned about. If you can have a more, fair treatment, or if you can get more respect from the supervisor, from your employer, then of course it brings you more positive feelings, and then you will be more, can be more motivated, okay? And the work environment also make you feel better, okay? More positive then. All right, so here, the following issue we'd like to talk about, there are different methods, okay? Of course, earlier that you mentioned is also one of it, to manage the positive employees relation, such as ensuring fair treatment, okay? As well as the second one, okay, earlier you also mentioned about it, communication, okay? Improve employee relation through communication program, okay? Through good communication. Third one, develop employee recognition. Actually, we already talked about it for several times, okay? Give recognition instead of just to give them financial incentives, recognition is even work better, right? Use employee involvement program, yeah. Especially, for me, I think for these three, I'm sure even more important, yeah. The other day I heard from one of my colleagues, I won't say this colleague from which department. Yeah, of course it's in our business school. Yeah, and this professor, told me, about in the department, his or her department, there's some other professor, they are a little bit more senior. So then in the meetings, the senior professor, kind of, because, now, actually there's some administrative work, for all professors, we also have to share the workload to work on those reports together. And then this senior professor, actually this senior professor is not the chairperson. And then maybe this junior professor kind of complete the work of this report a little bit late then. So then in the meeting, just in public, then this senior professor, shouted at this junior professor. Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, then shouted at this junior professor and then say that, so when you can, you can submit this report. Yeah, could you tell me? And it's in a very rude way, right? So, under this kind of situation, of course, for me, this friend of mine, and it's a little bit junior then. Yeah, so then of course, that's a lady. Yeah, she feel a little bit upset then. Yeah, so then she feel like kind of leaving. Yeah, maybe go for other university. So then that indicates, this is an organizational climate. I'm sure that we also talk about this concept. Yeah, it's not that good though, right? It doesn't matter you are the supervisor or you are not the supervisor. Actually, the way for you to talk to either your friend or your colleague, you have to be respectful. That is really important. Yeah. Right? So then that is the way to bring more positive relations. Okay, that's important. So ensure fair treatment. Okay, we talk about it. And fair treatment, of course, it brings some negative effect, of course. For example, it is a bit minus, it brings a minus effect on what? More, morale, trust, as well as employees' relations, as well as the performance. Okay. Try to, think about, earlier we talked about the equity theory, the video from the monkey. Yeah, this also the monkey has been treated unfairly. Yeah, so then of course the monkey got angry then. Unfair treatment is also a similar concept. So unfair treatment, it will increase a little bit more for what? Yeah? Tension, stress. All right, good. All right, it's kind of bring more stress. Yeah. If you feel like you are not treated fairly at the workplace, of course, for you to go to work, you feel quite stressful. All right. So here, that's what we mentioned over here. Employees are treated with respect, and employees are treated fairly. That's the concept of the fair treatment. Then, right? So then, if an employee they have this unfair treatment, then of course they will be more likely to quit the job, or they're gonna have a little bit lower job satisfaction as well as higher stress. Okay? And you also feel like leaving. Okay, feel like quitting the job then. Right, so here is in the textbook, it mentioned about one case about Foxconn. I'm not that sure for those of you here, yeah, do you know about this company, Foxconn? Foxconn, actually they have a very big plant in Shenzhen in China, right? But then the way, because the plant in Shenzhen is, they have the employee, I think the total amount probably is like more than 80,000, as I know. It's a really, it's like a community. Yeah, so then of course from this, the CEO's management style is also a little bit strict. Yeah, how can you manage that so, for so many employees, and then that's his managerial style. So of course, and then it brings some problem because as you know, the Foxconn, actually they are one of the most important supplier for Apple, right? So then for the employee, yeah, because the company, they have some this so-called kind of corporate responsibility issues, irresponsible, right? They have some unfair treatment. Okay, so then the worker, they claim for Apple, right? So well, this is so then that is the case about. So here, what have we done by Apple after they know about this, the unfair treatment issue, the cooperate irresponsible issue, right? So then they request the plant's owner to have this Fair Labor Association survey. Okay, then the FLA, they found there are tons of issues, cannot meet with the requirement, for this, so-called fair treatment. Okay. For example, what are they? The employee, they face overly strict product quality demands without adequate training. Okay. So as an employer, if you do not provide sufficient training, I think we also talk about this concept in the training, in the topic related to training. Okay. If you do not provide sufficient training to your employee, however, as an employer, you request the employee, they have to do this and that, but then they are not competent enough. Then you, as an employer, okay, you have some legal issue, you have some legal problem, right? So that is the issue then. And then, quite heavily work overtime. Then, for those, most of the employees, they even have to work during the weekends. Yeah, and then they also quite strict, request the employee, they have to complete some tasks within an hour. Because that is a manufacturing, like a manufacturing company. So then they request their employee to work very efficiently. And then that is, kind of the way of the management style by the CEO. So then, I'm not that sure if maybe for most of you, you haven't heard about that news. I think like kind of more than 5 years ago, there's some commit suicide case over there in the factory, from Foxconn in China. Yeah, and then of course they have to modify, for this kind of managerial style, right? So that's the case then. And different issue related to unfair treatment. It's related to bullying. Yeah, okay. Bullying, okay, and victimization. It indicates the imbalance of what? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the imbalance of power. Yeah, I'm not sure that. Oh, I make it the order is a little bit wrong there. Yeah, imbalance of power. I'm not that sure. Have you heard about some news, especially in the elementary school? There are some kids, because the kids sometimes they grow a little bit faster. The kids they are bigger, and then there are some kids they are a bit smaller. They will be bullied by those kids that are a bit bigger. Yeah. So then, because for those kids that are a bit bigger, they feel like they are more powerful, right? So then, of course, it also brings some problems in. The bullying issue nowadays is quite serious. So what does it mean by bullying? Have you ever bullying your friends? No? Really? Okay. Bullying, it indicates verbally like teasing or call some, if your friend's name, they are a little bit kind of related to some, funny things. Yeah. So when you're a child, sometimes some naughty kids, they did that. Okay, tease and calling, social, spread rumors, right? And like physically hitting or punching. Nowadays, because of the, digital technology, we have this new term, which is cyberbullying, right? Have you ever expressed some of your feelings because you are really pissed off by some of your friends, so then you express your feelings in this social media, for example, like your Instagram or the Facebook? Have you ever done that? Yeah, actually there are some people, they did that, all right? Because they get angry about their friends, so then they express something through this social media. But then for all of either his or her friend to, from seeing this statement, of course, it's obvious they know who that is, right? Because he or she, if you express his opinions in the social media, you cannot really point out who that is. Otherwise, you will also have some legal problems. Yeah, so then the way they describe it is quite obvious. Actually, nowadays, it's also a very serious problem in some organizations. Some employees, some staff, they really pissed off by their, supervisor. They also express about all this in social media. And then, of course, there are some supervisors, they got quite stressful. There are some of them, they even commit suicide from, this kind of stress. Yeah, serious. All right, so try to avoid from all this because it hurt people, right? We call it cyberbullying. All right, so then when we talk about this fair treatment, there are two important issues: procedure justice as well as distributive justice. Okay, it can bring people a little bit more fair treatment. These two concepts actually earlier, like in our paper, yeah, the Z, yeah, he also mentioned about it. Yeah, if you like kind of earlier, you pay attention to that. Procedure justice, what does it mean by that? It indicates the justice in allocation of reward or discipline in terms of the what? Yeah? Procedures, okay? In terms of the procedures that have been evenly handed and fair, okay? That indicates, within your organization, the decision-making process, okay, is transparent, right? It's not like some under-table decision-making has been done, right? That it's more toward to this procedure justice, right? Especially for the pay issue, okay, or bonus, right? It has to be transparent, okay? Who can get this, salary raise, right? And then in what percentage, right? The second one related to distributive justice. It indicates that the whole system, for example, the reward system, okay, distributing reward and discipline in which the what? Yeah.
Actual results.
Actual results or the outcomes are evenly handed and fair. Okay, for example, like what kind of base? Yeah, in the company they use what based? Outcome um, oriented, yeah, to pay for their, for example, they got the bonus pay, yeah, by their what? Either what or the tenure, yeah, they got rewarded. It's not that difficult then. Yeah, the performance or tenure, right? It depends on the system, okay, the reward system. How do you organize for your system? It can be either by the performance base or by the tenure base, you know, right? For some company, you know, they emphasize more on the tenure, the seniority. And then for some company, they emphasize more on the, you know, the performance. So either way, it's fine. But then, you know, it has to be clear for the reward system. You know, for example, like if you are in a reward system, you have the base pay as well as bonus pay. But then the bonus pay, well, it's either to be like kind of by performance evaluation, either you reach like A plus, so then you can get this performance salary raise by what percentage, sort of. You know, the whole reward system also has to be, you know, clear enough then, right? So that's but indicates the reward can be, you know, is fair, okay? So distributed fairly. So that is a distributive justice, right? So then, yeah, you know, for most of the company, if these two, okay, can meet with the, you know, can meet with the procedure justice as well as distributive justice, then we can say that they have better fair treatment then, right? And then the second one is related to earlier we talked about this communication issue, right? Communication issue nowadays, like for some company, okay, they try to keep their employee, okay, in a good loop, okay, about what's happening. Okay, so then of course, then for some employee, if they have some negative emotions, it's better for the company to have what kind of policy, so then they can express. Open door, yeah, open door policy. Okay, open door. That indicates, well, maybe, you know, if you have some negative emotions or feelings, and then they have some way for you to, you know, like to speak out. For example, you can email to the CEO, something like that. Maybe you have the kind of the really bad relationship with your supervisor, sort of. Okay, open door policy. Otherwise, you know, the employees, the negative emotion, you know, they kind of hide it and then incrementally they explode it, okay, one day, right? Then they will quit the job then. So for some company, they will use this organizational climate survey, okay? Organizational climate survey, yeah, that's, for example, like Google, okay? They use that, it's Google gives the survey. So in the survey, okay, what kind of question might be listed there, for example, such as like overall, how satisfied are you with with your supervisor, right? How satisfied are you with your job, or how satisfied are you with your colleagues, right? And you know, does doing your job well lead to things like recognition and respect from those you work with? So through this survey, you know, as an employee, you feel more free to express the idea, you know, because from the survey, it's, you know, so-called anonymous, right? So then, you know, from the HR department, they can know about the problem and try to solve the problem before the problem, you know, will be exploded, right? And the third method will be develop employees recognition relations program. Okay, I think we also talked about it before. Such as, okay, for most of the company, what will they do? They will have full kind of.
Usually company will create like employee of the year, employee of the month, something.
Yeah, exactly. Employee of the month or employee of the week, sort of, right? It depends which kind of industry that you have. Employee of the month, all right? Always give the employee recognition, right? So then they feel more motivated, right? And the fourth one, use the employee involvement program, okay? That indicates, there's some decision making won't be just be done by the top executive level, okay? For example, you can also use the focus group. Do you know about what's that? Focus group? It indicates within a company. Actually, for some people, if they're going to conduct this qualitative analysis, qualitative survey, okay, they will use this focus group that indicates for some particular subject. They call for maybe like 10 to 12 people. They get together in a meeting room, and then they will try to get some feedback from these participants. And of course, there should be the issue related, the people, for those participants that you invite to be the focus group, it has to be related to like kind of your research issue. For example, for the company, if you invented some new product, and then that product is for those working mother, for example. Okay, so then they try to know about those working mothers, their perception, about this new product. So then they will invite those, those ladies, their role as a working mother, come to participate in this focus group. So then they can contribute about their opinion then, right? So that's the focus group. So for a company, sometimes they also use this approach. It's employees' involvement. And sometimes the company, they also use the employees, what kind of team? It's a little bit kind of a circle, quality circle. What kind of team? The purpose is they try to, maybe there's some problem, right? So actually the purpose is problem solving, right? It's a quality circle. For example, like recently the company, they got a lot of complaint from the customer, complaint about the quality of their product. So then they have this, team. They try to solve this problem related to what? The product quality. Okay, so then the product quality might comes from the manufacturing process. Okay, so then this they invite some people, some employees to join this problem-solving team, and their mission is to try to improve the quality then, right? Or they will use what kind of teams? Then it's a little bit similar to like a kind of example, cost-effective suggestion system.
Suggestion team.
Yeah, it's a suggestion team. Yeah, okay. It's for some company, they will have nowadays actually it's also quite popular. They will have the platform for the employee to contribute about their suggestions about anything. It either like kind of belongs to which department, so then you provide a suggestion. The purpose will be, of course, you want to make your company's cost down, some process cost down, or to be more effective. So then by this platform, the employee can freely contribute your idea. So here there's a company. They also have this cost-effective suggestion system, right? The way they do it, this is a company from this Lockheed. Martin, they produce the aircraft. All right. So they develop this cost-effective plus suggestion program. So then the employee, they have this, as we mentioned, they have for their company, they have this website, the platform, for the employee to provide their suggestions electronically. So then, of course, for those suggestions has been provided, it will be evaluated by the supervisor or some managers, right? So then, well, if your suggestion has been taken, then of course you will be rewarded, for some, maybe for some bonus, right? So, and then from your suggestion, and then it did help the company to reduce the cost. Yeah, so then of course you might kind of get some additional bonus. So then you provide an incentive for the employee to provide for their suggestions. So then by using this cost-effective plus suggestion program, actually from Lockheed, it did save plenty of money, okay, from the operation, right? So it helps, okay? And the following issue we'd like to address is related to ethical issue, ethical organization. Of course, like for a company, because nowadays the corporate social responsibility, this issue is quite essential. So then this corporate social responsibility issue is also more toward to like how to bring your organization to become a more ethical organization. Yeah, because nowadays, some companies, of course, as a company, what will be the purpose?
Profit.
As a for-profit organization, yeah, will be the purpose to make profit, right? To make money, yeah. But then, on the other hand, like the goal for you, for each business is not just to make profit, right? And then you sacrifice, for example, our environment or some other people's their welfare, sort of, right? Or you also, kind of explode it a little bit for your employees. And then you make profit, and then you sacrifice for so many different dimensions. That's not the way we want to see, right? So nowadays, the ethical issue of ethical organization, okay, is very important then. So what is ethics? Okay, it indicates the principle of what? Yeah? Huh? The principle of conduct, right? Principle of your conduct. We can say that also kind of relates to your behavior, right? Or your mindset, okay? Governing individuals or a group, okay? Or the principle people that used to decide, what their conduct should be, what is right or wrong, right? Ethical. It's of course it's different from legal issue. So then that is, the concept of the ethical decision. Generally, they are more rooted in what? Morality, right? Morality in Chinese